Okay, so this is the last video for a while because I'm going to give Digger a break from healing, because if you keep battering into shit, then, you know, dog gets pissed off, you get pissed off, or I get pissed off, blah blah blah. I often leave dogs sort of decompress after doing a behaviour or an exercise for a while, because I personally think that it sets it in their mind better, and when you bring them back out to do it again in maybe a week, 2 weeks, or in my case sometimes a year, they're just fresher, they're not bored of it, they look livelier, and they do it more accurately. Now in this video you're going to see all the things that I've done to polish Digger's healing up. It's a reenactment because I lost the original video when my computer died about a week ago, and you may notice there was a gap in the videos. It's because my computer died and I had to borrow another one basically. So in this video you're going to see a number of things which I'll go into after we've seen the video. It's a typical chaos video, looks chaotic, but you can see he's learning stuff. Okay? Sit. Assim. Assim. Okay? Assim. Ok? Ok? Yes. Assim. Ok? Ok. Boy. Up, push. Okay. Pushing. Digga, okay. Pushing. Okay. Pushing. Now pushing. Okay. 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 Digga, okay. Okay. Yes. Good boy. Okay. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. See? Up you. Good boy. Good boy. That's it. Up you, sweetie. Okay. Okay. Yeah, good boy. Digga, sweetie, okay. Come on. Okay. Yes. Let's go. Good boy. He's a good boy. Good dog. Now then, in that video you saw what I was talking about with downing the dog and walking backwards, which was the intro to these videos. So what I'm doing is I'm downing the dog, I'm standing over here and I'm calling him into heel. I'm facing perpendicular to him because I want him to come into my left side. And as the dog comes in, just before he gets to you, he starts turning his back end round. Okay? Now, as he turns his back end round, I start walking in a spiral, which gets smaller. Because what I'm doing is I'm using the dog's momentum, and I found that coming from a down about 6 to 8 feet away, the dog has the right amount of momentum that when he hits you, he just keeps going, keeps pivoting around you. This is teaching him two things in one go. It's teaching him to do proper left-hand turns or left-hand about turns, and it's also teaching him that he's going to find heel. I'm not going to fucking show him where it is. Now then, when I first start the spiral, I'm walking around the dog, okay? So I'm the one moving and the dog is making a smaller turn than me. When I get to the smaller part of the spiral, I'm just turning on the spot and the dog is turning properly about my leg. So that's one thing. Another thing you'll have noticed is that sometimes I'm walking backwards. Now the reason why I'm walking backwards, I'm walking along and the dog's heeling next to me. As I go to make a left about turn, and I'll make sure that he's spiralling right first, so obviously this is a reenactment, so he already does it. I'll go to make the left hand turn, which is a normal left hand turn at this point where I want him to spiral around, pivot around my leg. So I'll turn around, but the dog's path is interesting. My goes to there and then I turn around and then I start walking backwards. What happens with the dog is he's walking alongside you, okay, walking alongside you, and then as you turn, the dog starts swinging his back end around you like this, okay, till he's in the correct position facing 180 degrees to what we came from, and then you walk backwards. There's a specific reason for teaching your dog to walk backwards, and that's because when you do an about turn, a left one specifically, this isn't like brand new knowledge, people know this, they just fail to mention it a lot. Probably because it's one of the best tips that you can have to get your dog to do nice IPO, competition obedience type flipping around left turns. Okay? There's your feet, you're walking along, walking along, walking along. You want to do a left about turn. You take your left foot and you place it perpendicular to the direction you're travelling in. Okay? You're travelling in that direction. Then you take your right foot and you place it behind your left foot, or rather in front of your left foot. so that your toes are pointing at your heel. Okay? Then this leg here swings back round so that your hips straighten up. So this right foot is pointing that way. Your hips straighten up, and then you take a step forward, back down the field. Now why is this important? Because to turn on the spot, this is what you have to do essentially. You can just swing it on the spot. And in some of my Rosie videos you'll see it. And it doesn't look that good. At this point where you've turned your left heel, then you've started to put your right heel down pointing in the direction you're about to go in. The dog is next to your hip. So he's come along like this, he's come next to your hip. And now, as you bring your left foot back to take the first step back down the field after you've executed the turn, the dog now has to walk backwards a couple of steps to keep in line with your hip, and then he too, or she too, starts walking the direction that you're going in. If you look at the videos that I've just put up again, you'll see these little steps that Digga has to take in order to orient himself next to my hip at all times when I'm executing the turn. I'm going to put a video of my feet just doing it so you can see what the hell I'm talking about. And I might put a video of Digga doing a good left hand turn. Watch my feet. And watch his feet to see him take a couple of steps backwards. Now I'm not going to do any Digga videos like I think I mentioned before that for about a week, because I'm going to leave him decompress and I'm going to teach him proper mechanics of tugging, because he's not been taught that yet. He'll tug, but he doesn't know properly when he can take it, blah blah blah, how the game works. So I'm going to spend about a week and I'm just going to take him for walks and shit, and any formal shit I'm doing is going to be just playing tag with him, because I want to start using a tug or a ball and a string to bring his drive up a bit more, because the food is giving him the correctness, but it's not bringing the sort of animated heel that you want to see for IPO and competition obedience. So I want to just bring his drive up a bit, because Digga likes to eat the tug basically, and so I think that'll help. Now then, all the shit you just seen in that video, you can do just that essentially, plus the small arc luring in the first video I think it was, and you can teach your dog to heel from one end of the field to the other end of the field just doing those things. You don't need to walk along giving them treats, adding steps or any of that crap. How do you know when you can just literally start at one end of the field and walk to the other without doing incremental steps in between? If you haven't taught your dog a head up position, as like people who stand there, get the dog to put its head up, give it a treat, put its treat, blah 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 blah, right? Once that dog starts looking up at you, okay, on his own, that's when you know he's nailed it, she's nailed it. They understand where heel position is, they're waiting for the next turn, which means you can walk them from one end of the field to the other, and they're constantly anticipating that next turn, which is why I'm teaching turns more than straight lines, because I'll always reward really quick after a turn. They're anticipating the next turn, so they'll walk along with their head up next to you. You can start to see that they become more animated, they're waiting, their anticipation is building, they look better, they are more driven for healing, and that's when you can heal for as long as you want basically. I don't really tend to like teach my dogs to heal 3 steps, 10 steps, 20 steps, 40 steps, whatever. I'll teach them the turns, I'll teach them basically staying wet next to me, and then I'll literally just throw an IPO healing exercise together without worrying about it. Because once I know that dog's head's come up on his own, I know he can do it, or she can do it. So I'll see you in about a week's time, and we'll come back to healing after I've taught Digga how to play tag without biting my fingers off. Okay? Thank you very much. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Can I have it? Can I have it? Okay. He's so funny. I like that. I can't put it in my pocket either when it's having a fucking slob and shit. Okay. Yes.
That's well impressive. He's so easy to...
And now that video of Indy healing round the pole backwards makes sense.